pushing back to the farm. So, hey, don't forget, wish your moms happy Mother's Day. I do have action shots. It'll take a little bit of editing. I wanted to throw this up quick, show some progress. Got stuff leveled out pretty good. Go to the other end here. We're about, as a rough guesstimate here, this puts us at about 100 feet from the house. And then we're about 50 feet back. So 100 by 50 plot here that we've ground down pretty good. Off the edge of the driveway, this was kind of a little knoll here that is the only place that the guy hit shale, and that broke up pretty easy, which is good. There's definitely spots of shale in this property. It's impossible to break up. So this will be the beginning of a driveway into that area where the barn will be. But take a little stroll onto here. Finally got a sunny day, and I don't feel like my hands are trying to freeze. So major holes have been filled in pretty well. We definitely have a lot of fill to bring in here. So we're going to try to get the pad so that it rises above the end of this driveway apron. So that door that we're centered on, looking at the entry door to our garage, is basically the alignment. That's going to be the front corner of the barn. And let's see if I can get this in here. Barn will start right about there and then move back. So it's Sunday. Tuesday, excavator's going to stop by. We're going to laser level the place. We're going to stake out all of the corners of the concrete pad, mark where the doors are so that they can put the rounded edges on the pad when they pour it.
All right, let's give narration a try. So what we're looking at are some samples of plans from a website. This is kind of the inspiration towards the garage that we're designing. And the reason that we're looking at pulling something from the web and not stick building is for our property, a metal building would unfortunately make it look really industrial. The lap siding that's available on metal buildings these days is really quite attractive. And then certainly when you have a house with a lot of architectural detail, like some of the colonials that are built, I'm thinking of One Pal's example, you can have like a matching metal barn with a low pitch roof, and you have such other visual elements to allow that to blend in. So for our place, we're looking at this building to add some beautification to the property. So we started off with these plans. They are a bit smaller than the design that we wanted to go with. So what I'm doing is actually drawing in my sketches to the dimensions that we want, and also adding in the doors and the window designs and the roof pitch so that this company can adjust these plans right here and start to design it for us on our behalf. So there is a cost with that, but in the end, we end up with the copyright release for those plans and something that I can now distribute to various contractors, shed builders, Amish building contractors, whoever. So I know my finger's moving around and I'm pointing out a number of details here and there. Just to point out, like, this is the side that faces the road. I've added in an 8-foot wide entry door to the back, or overhead door to the back, mainly because I want to have another, access to the back of the building. So basically, during the winter time, I can pack in this building with all of the cars and then still gain access. This is the right side of the building as you face it. This is going to be the side towards the house. Just pointing out that we made the entry door facing the house, so there's quick access, from our garage into this standalone garage here. We also used 4-foot high by 5-foot wide sliding windows so that we can get the maximum ventilation and also have kind of a picture window effect into the building. So we're trying to maximize the amount of light that comes into the place. The round windows, it's going to be open truss. We just added that in to get some more light upstairs. This is the back side of the building. It's 36 foot wide in its presence. This is what's going to face the neighbors. And I've done high awning windows, mainly so that it's easier to crank them out and get some ventilation, but they're also not down low to the ground. Gives you just more storage space in the back. So the front of the building, you can see the design elements here. I think I switched back to the actual picture. Nope, doesn't look like I do. But anyways, you can see like what we started with the sites picture. I've now adjusted it to our extra foot of width, but also to the roof pitch, which was another design element that changes from that original. So try to give enough space on the sides to be able to set up workbenches, and they intrude as little as possible into the space to bring in the vehicles. We end up with 30 inches, which is about standard. So there's your shot into the original, inspiration for the design. So you can kind of get an idea how we've changed the roof pitch, how this should look. Oh, little shot of the reel-to-reel tape deck, unused at this point. So we end up with a 10-foot door on this side, which should be more than enough to swing the truck in there. I also made it an 8-foot high door. Allows me to get some taller projects in the future. Say we get a lifted Jeep, or even put a lift kit on the truck. Gives us that clearance there. Easily the tractor can swing into there. The 7-foot door on the other side is just basically because we're looking at a 9-foot tall, or maximum height for the walls. Not a lot of space above that. I didn't want this to be a narrow little footprint of siding above the door. So because I had the space on the other side with the return gable, we use the 8-foot door over there. So visually, it should work towards making it a better appearance as the building transitions from that return gable. The 7-foot door does give me enough height. I can squeeze the tractor and its ropes being fully upright in there. But when I say squeeze, I mean I'll rub against the rubber gasket. So definitely a consideration. As far as lift height for cars, I don't think I'm going to be doing that much with a true lift. So this is previous drawing. I've adjusted the sizing of the space before. You'll see that this is showing a 14 and a 22-foot split. The new split is 15 and 21 foot. We did that so I didn't end up with like less than 2 feet to the side of each garage door on the narrower end. But basically I laid out the entire space, and what's not shown in the shot is I cut out pieces of paper to represent the vehicles and the cabinets and other things, the stacker, just how I would lay them out into the garage to say, like, it's wintertime, I'm going to pack everything in here, and am I going to have enough space to be able to walk around? So all of the car cutouts were representative of being able to fully open the driver's door or the passenger door, or to open both of them halfway. So we stacked those in as best as possible, and made sure that this footprint of a basically 31 by 36 building was going to allow me to stack everything in there. Just pointing out that I even planned in space. That's where the motorcycle will sit during the winter time. And that's between the entry door and the corner of the overhead door. So space for everything and everything in its place. I did plan for the car stacker. The one thing that I should mention is I don't have a car stacker yet, but we're planning in to make sure that the concrete pad is poured to an appropriate thickness for that. Minimum thickness suggested is 4.5 inches. From my understanding, the concrete guy that we have lined up will pour to 6 inches. So any place I should be able to put a lift or a car stacker without fear of the floor cracking. And of course, it's an Alaskan slab, so all of the foundation is going to be poured to like a 12-inch depth. Oh. And this should meet the minimum needs for New York State at the very least, or exceed them. But definitely in our area, our soil compacts to such a degree of hardness that we really shouldn't see any settling. And again, the work that I pointed out before in some of the earlier videos is anywheres that we tore out some major clumps of tree roots and the stumps we've replaced with a shale gravel mix that packs in pretty hard. So our excavator, he's going to be bringing in a jumping jack, and he's going to put down a pad to receive the concrete pour. So we should be seeing at a floor that's going to last for quite a while. So plenty of space to move around, especially with the car stacker. That's going to add even a little bit more space to be able to have these projects in the garage. And then during the winter, when we are kind of just locked into that space, use car dollies and we'll move everything around. All right, thanks for hanging with me, guys. We'll get some other videos posted real soon.